Tim Minchin is the subject of the documentary Rock and Roll Nerd. He's a composer, singer-songwriter who satirises life as most of us know it. A few years ago, he was just another performer with ambitions, with a working wife who supported him, and then he got a gig at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and that's where life started to change.
And the winner is this year, the inaugural one. Who can it be?
An absolutely brilliant show that I saw here the other night. Tim Minchin.
Thanks very much. That's great, because I'm going to go to Edinburgh and do a show with Karen, which is really nice, and it's also really exciting, and it's also nice to know that like when I didn't get an award, they just made one for me.
From Melbourne to Edinburgh, where life started to get more complicated.
The buzz started on the first day. It's amazing. I mean, we had queues for him all over the weekend, which was great. Word of mouth was great. A lot of people couldn't get tickets, so that meant that they were more anxious to see him and everything.
I heard it's the best show in town.
The buzz on the street and the buzz in all the bars are, have you seen Tim Minchin? You must go and see Tim Minchin.
Confirmation that we have a full house.
And in the course of the film is the added adventure of potential parenthood. I must admit I was underwhelmed for much of the early part of Rock and Roll Nerd, which is the title of one of Minchin's songs. It's a fairly nuts and bolts narration of the rise and rise of a performer's career. But by the end, the ordinariness of the early part begins to have a resonance as Minchin begins to deal with his success. In a quiet way, it is an exploration of fame and its consequences. It's an affirmation of the value of grounding. The yearning for acceptance, for the applause, the inability to deal with criticism, the pressure that initial success brings, are all part of this ultimately revealing film. David?
It is interesting, and it always amazes me when a fly-on-the-wall filmmaker is in from the very start of a story, as it seems that they are here. You know, before the guy is famous, he's appearing in Melbourne, and he wins this award. He goes to Edinburgh, becomes a big star, and the film is with him every step of the way.
Yes.
And that's
is it luck or is it? Well, talent spotting.
Maybe it's a combination of both, because you never know how these things are going to go. But in this case, of course, it's worked out really well. I think it's a fascinating portrait. For all the reasons you've said, I agree with you very much. I think, like many documentaries that we see these days, it's a little bit long. I think it, could have been tightened a little bit, but it's pretty interesting. So I'm going to give it 3.5.
David, I'm agreeing with you tonight. 3.5 from me too.
Yeah, I have everything a man could ever want, and all I'll ever need is you. 'Cause nothing can stop us now, only the good times left. Nothing can stop our love, except terminal illness or sudden accidental death.
Rock and Roll Nerd is in limited release around the country, so check our website for details.